Well, hello, and today we are just going to be doing a little bit of a video on the features and all the different options on a Tesla Model X. All right, well, I'm here in my Tesla Model X. I'm actually just made a video earlier regarding the version 10 of the new Tesla update, but I'm still here charging, so I just thought I'd take some time to go ahead and just do a little video on the different features for those that either have never had a Tesla or thinking about buying one or just bought one and kind of want to know what everything's about. So down here you have this is all your different features for your car, the different options. You have music, and you can actually pull this up and you'll get a little bit more things. Bring it down, and here you have a couple more options. Here you have your phone calls, you have a calendar, and this will actually pop up all of your calendar items from your phone. So it's synced to my phone, so when I click that, it'll show you everything on my agenda for today. This is for streaming music. I guess it's Slacker. Now version 10 has Spotify. You have TuneIn. I think they're not solid black because I don't really use either one of these. I use the Slacker and then I use the XM radio. So we'll go into that. If you click on that, you can have FM radio and you can have XM radio. And these are all the favorite stations that I have. So from there, you have settings. You can actually change the bass. I like a little bit more bass. It's all about that bass, right? And here you can actually search for music. So you put in the name of the artist or the song, and you can actually click, and it'll create a station. You can search for podcasts, albums, songs, names, artists, so forth. So we're gonna close that out, and then from there, so that's your music. This is actually what we're looking at right now. So you can click on, this is what we were looking at. Sorry, this is what we were looking at. And if you click on this here, it'll give you some other options. Make a phone call, calendar, camera. You can look at your rear view camera, no matter, even if you're driving, you can actually look at your rear view camera. So we'll click on that again. Energy will show you your average energy, projected mile the way that you're driving, and we'll go charging. We'll just give you the charging information. Like here, I got 30 minutes left. I'm at 205 miles right now. It's charging at a rate of 73 miles an hour, and I have 174 miles that I've charged since I've been sitting here. Since I've parked here. So we'll go back to here. So the web is just, a web browser. Mine, for some reason, after version 10 update, it's kind of frozen. I can't see anything, so we'll have to figure that out, and I'll post an update once we've done that. Entertainment, you can have different games. So these are all the games that are on here, and I guess while you're charging, you can actually, play these games. But it's only when you're in park. Toy box, these are all the all the extras and, more cowbell. So it says pull the cruise control stalk 4 times when auto steer is engaged and the road turns into a giant rainbow, accompanied by cowbell. So the autopilot stalk is here. So you would pull it twice to set it, and then from there it would be set. And then you would have like the road. Usually you see a road when you're driving. It turns into this rainbow thing, and I'll put a video up for it so you can see what it does. But it's just some little fun things that you can have. Let's go back. Toy box. I'm doing a speed version of this. Christmas. That's where the car dances and has the Christmas music. You just push that, and then afterwards, when you get out of the car, I think let's see what it says. Exit, close all doors, click the lock button on your key fob, which is the roof of the key fob. You just press on it once you're out of the car. As long as there's nothing around it, it'll do it. And I found out that if something's close by to it, like if you're next to another car or something, a fence or something is nearby, it won't do it. So that's one of the things that it's kind of fun to do. And I did that with my daughters. I'll post up a video of that. This is pretty interesting too. You press that, and supposedly I think it turns the heater on. Like, I don't want heat right now, but you get a fire. And then the other thing that's kind of cool is eventually, you know, it'll say, like, music-wise, it'll say romance. And I know the last time I put this on, it started playing some Marvin Gaye. So I'm not sure if that's what always happens. But, you know, that's one of those little things that, the Easter eggs that Tesla has put in here. Actually, I think I just have to push the play button. Well, my seat warmer just is warming up. So definitely it's doing something. My seat just warmed up. It's kind of funny. So we'll exit out of that and we'll go back to the toy box. This just turns your map into Mars with the lunar lander. So when you're driving around, it looks like you're on Mars. These are arcade games. I think we already looked at that. It's just a different way. That's an entertainment button, but you're going it through the other menu. Toy box. This will put you into ludicrous mode. So when you do that, since we're in park, well, I guess it does. It does. There's ludicrous mode. And then you can click that, and that's ludicrous plus. So, toy box. And what else? Whoopee cushion. There's your whoopee cushion. So you can set it to the different seats, and it'll sound on that side. So it'll come out through the speakers in the front. And then you can actually put this so that you can hit the scroll button so that somebody gets in the car and you can just hit that and it'll do that. And this is on ludicrous fart. You can put it on I'm so random. There's different types. So these are all little fun little, you know, games. This just turns your everything into like Christmas. So you'll see snowflakes and you'll see Santa Claus instead of your car. So right now we're in park, so you won't be seeing that. And what else? This one, let's see what that does. I'll have to figure that one out. But these are all little fun things, you know. Actually, let me change this back. I don't want to be on Mars anymore. And actually, that changes into like a shuttle, like a space shuttle. So we'll get off of the Mars thing. Let's see. Actually, no. That's so you can write and draw. You know. So that's what that is, and that's still there. So I'm gonna hit exit and go back. Toy box. Actually, that's what that did. Actually, no. Let's get rid of the Mars. Those are all the supercharging stations. That red that you see is all superchargers. So there's a whole bunch of them. So now we're gonna go into the actual features of the car. So we've gone through that. This is just your climate control, you know, your regular stuff. You can put air conditioning, you can put recirculate auto, so it's auto air conditioning. You can heat up the steering wheel. These are defrosters. You can heat, I think, all the seats in this car. This has a Sub-Zero package. So it has, I think that has a heated steering wheel, and it has all the heated seats in the entire car. So turn the AC off so you don't have that noise. And then with the seats, you can actually turn heat, or you can cool them. These have the cooling because they're perforated leather, so you can actually heat them or you can cool them. And these are defrost, front and rear, volume control. And so now we're going to go to the actual features. So quick controls are going to be like, you know, things that you need the most. The lights come on, you know, the exterior lights come on automatically. This one has the front fog light on all the time. I don't know about the rear fog light. I've never used that. So, and this is to fold the mirrors in and out. In case you're parking somewhere, don't want somebody. And if you look there, it'll tell you like, whoops, fold mirrors. Always, if you click that, it'll always fold the mirrors. Like if you park somewhere all the time, like in your garage, and you want every time that you're at that garage for the mirrors to fold, you just click that. And every time you park there, the mirrors will fold. So it has a memory. These are to open the wings. Sometimes if you're driving, there'll be a lock button here. And in order to unlock that and open the doors, you'll have to hit the unlock button and then open the doors. These are to actually open the passenger side door. So it'll actually open it on its own. Front trunk, you know, and that's the front, and then the rear trunk. And then we're gonna go to seats. You can actually move the seats. So I click this here, the seats will move. And you can move the front seats. Everything's controlled. And it'll actually move on the screen. And then easy entry. That's so that the seats will, you can put it so they can go all the way down and all the way back whenever you get into the car, just to make it easier to get in. And then once you're in the car, once you actually hit the brake or, you know, start going, everything will go to whatever your settings are. Like these are my settings. So depending on the key fob that's in the car, that's what it'll go to. Suspension, it usually is not a shuttle, but I think it's because I hit that shuttle button. Okay, so right now I'm actually at, oh, I got to hit the brake in order to do this. Oh, I'm charging, so it won't let me. But you can actually set the height. You know, I usually set it to 20. This is very low. You know, obviously this is because I hit that button. It's popping up as that. But it'll usually say very low, low, standard, and then very high. And it'll actually, you know, lower and raise the car. So if it's snowing and you want to, you know, make sure that you have clearance, then, or if you're coming up to a big speed bump or something, you can raise and lower the car. This is so it'll actually lower the car at speeds, because it's more aerodynamic if it's lower. So if you're on the highway, it'll lower the speed and it'll give you better gas mileage. So I have it to adjust speed. Yeah, lights, they're automatic. They turn on and off at night. Front fog lights are on. These are the dome lights, so you can actually turn them on. So you'll have that come on, that light. I have them on auto. And auto high beams, it'll turn the high beams on whenever it's really dark. And if there's a oncoming car, it'll bring them down. When you leave the car, if you want the headlights to be on, you just go through that. Driving, this is really interesting. I use this a lot. This is a setting for acceleration. So if you're in chill, it accelerates kind of like, you know, not, I guess if somebody's first trying out the car for the first time, it's better just to put it on chill so they won't do anything dumb and, you know, accelerate really fast into something. You know, I usually keep it in sport or keep it on ludicrous. If I'm worried about mileage, I leave it on sport. If I'm just driving it daily, like once I get my charger at home, it'll probably be on ludicrous all the time. Ludicrous Plus is if you just want to show off or if you just want to have fun or if you want to go to the track. You know, when I have my buddies in the car, and usually I do Ludicrous Plus. Ludicrous Plus, you have to actually hit the max battery button. It'll start to warm the battery up, and it'll tell you 20 minutes the battery's warm. And then it'll have like full access to full ludicrous speed. So that, you know, 2.8 to 3 second quarter, 0 to 60. Steering mode, this is like a tighter steering. So when you move it, it's just a lot tighter. This is a lot softer when you go to comfort. It's just depending on your driving style. I like sports, you know, I like to have that, to feel more responsiveness when you're using the steering wheel. Regenerative braking, what this does is actually, when you're in standard, it'll actually use the motor to slow the car down. So you'll feel it. Like you barely have to use the brakes when you're in this mode. Whenever you let go of the gas, the car just starts braking without you using the brakes. So it's an interesting feeling. but it's actually using the motor, just like in a standard car. If you don't, you're downshifting and you don't, put it into neutral, it'll use the motor to stop. But this is like way more effective. So that's why the brakes last so long on these cars, because the motor is so effective at slowing the car down. If you put it on low, it won't use the motor as much, so you actually have to use a brake, and it feels more like a standard car. Creep is so that when you let go of the brake, it starts to move forward on its own. So just like a regular car, most cars, if they're automatics, they will start to move forward when you let go. The only thing with this is that if, I've just turned this on. I usually have it off, and actually I think I'm going to turn it off again. But what happens is if you don't have creep on, you have to be careful, because if you're at a light that's on a hill, if you let go of the brake, the car will start moving backwards, because it's pretty much in neutral until you hit the gas. So you have to be careful with that. Slip to start, I've never had to use. It's supposedly if you're stuck in snow, sand, or mud, and I'm sure it has something to do with the torque. Range mode, it says range mode would save energy by reducing climate control power. It also distributes torque between the motors to improve range. Heating or cooling in cabin may be less effective. I usually keep this on because I want the most, miles per charge. If I am doing ludicrous plus, then a lot of times, I don't know. I figure that's the way it should work, is I end up turning that off, because when you're in ludicrous plus, you're not worried about your mileage. You're going to go through it really fast. Autopilot, this is auto steer, so it'll actually move the steering wheel when you're driving. Summon is the where you can actually let me see, customize summon. Oh, that's new. That might be like a version 10. I don't remember seeing that before. Or it might have been in there, but I don't think I had seen it. But that's summon, and these are the different options for summon. And speed warning, it'll just tell you, I guess, if you've gone over the speed limit. These I haven't really used. Forward collision warning, I have it set up medium. It'll warn you if you're getting too close to the car in front of you. Lane departure warning. This will vibrate your steering wheel if you start driving on the lines. I didn't like that. I just kept, it just kept vibrating. Like every time you're driving, every time you get close to a line or whatever, it vibrates. To me, it got annoying. So I guess if you're on a long trip and you want to make sure you're not falling asleep at the wheel, then you would turn that on, because it will wake you up. Automatic emergency braking, I'm guessing if somebody cuts in front of you, or if you're not paying attention and there's a car in front of you and that's stopped, it'll automatically stop for you. This is what I'm guessing. I've never had experienced it. Obstacle awareness acceleration. Obstacle automatically limits your acceleration if an obstacle is detected in front of your vehicle while driving at low speeds. So that's what it does. Vehicle options, automatic doors. Driver door will open when the key fob is detected. So close all doors with key fob, pretty self-explanatory. This is the Falcon door height. So this will, determine how far up the doors go. If I do auto, it'll just, it'll go as high as it can. It still detects whatever's above you in case you're in a garage. It'll stop before it hits anything. These are your safety locks, so the kids can't open the doors by themselves. This is if you're going into reverse, it'll tilt the mirrors. Smart preconditioning. I don't really know what that does. I know it says by learning your driving schedule, smart preconditioning can automatically prepare the vehicle before you drive. I have it on, but it's not something that it's I've noticed any change. Display, it's brightness, energy saving. I just keep that off. Screen cleaning mode, if you want to clean the screen, it'll turn it off, and then you have to hold it for 3 seconds or something for it to come back on. Your languages, format, if you want miles or kilometers. And this is what you want to display up here. So your tripometer and things like that, you can reset them. Navigation, trip planner. This will put the supercharger stops into your trip. So this supposedly will take, traffic into account. If you want to avoid ferries on the navigation, avoid tolls, or avoid HOV lanes, or use HOV lanes. Now this just tells you that when you press the park button here, it'll actually turn the parking brake on, as well as putting the car into park. This is your power button, like your phone. This is how you turn the whole car off, because the car's always on unless you turn it off. Speed limit, I guess if you want to make sure you don't go past a certain speed limit, I guess this is good if you have kids. But you have to have a PIN. So you can either give it to a valet, or you can give it to your kids, put in a 50 mile per hour, set a PIN, and then all of a sudden they can't go past that speed limit. It's a pretty good feature, I guess, when my girls start driving. Park assist chimes, it'll just make the beeps when you're getting too close to something. Joe mode is so that the chimes won't sound as loud in the rear. So if you have a baby, it won't wake the baby up. Security alarm, I guess somebody tries to get into the car or whatever. Passive entry, that's not, I guess this doesn't have that option. Pin to drive, I guess that's if you want a pin. So every time somebody wants to drive it, they have to put a pin number in. So they can't just, like if you have kids, you don't want them grabbing your key and just going into the car and hitting a lever, you know, and driving the car, like running into the wall in the garage or something. Cabin overheat protection. I just want to make sure if, you know, it keeps the cabin at a certain temperature so it doesn't get too hot inside. I'm actually going to turn this off because I'm usually in the garage, so I'm not in the sun, and that'll probably save me some energy. Allow mobile access is so that you can give them, I think it's so you can give Tesla access so that they can see, I guess, your usage and things like that. And I'm not sure if it's related to the Tesla app, because you can access most things from your phone too. Service. So these are how the spoiler, mine actually retracts and extends. So I have an automatic. So when you're like right now, it's extended, but it'll go down when I park. And the wheel configuration, these are the wheels that I have right now, 22-inch Onyx Black turbine. So software, I'll just give you a software version. You know, advanced, it'll automatically update as soon as it's available. So let's see what the release notes say for version 10, if it comes up. Like I'm telling you, there's something going on where the browser is not working. So I think that's why this is not coming up. So I'll have to contact Tesla. I'll do an update. And then from the steering wheel, we have volume control, music up and down, voice command. These are your menus. So you can actually turn the temperature up and down, fan speed, brightness. You can see your recent calls. You can go through your contacts. So all this stuff you can do right from your steering wheel. From there, you have the hazard lights. You have your glove box button. And if you need, you know, one of these things, a visor, then you can go there. There's a mirror in here, and it's pretty little nifty way that they did that. It all clips in with magnets. So that's it, you know. You have your regular stuff that you know, and your plugs. But those are the features. You know, these are all the features, at least from this screen. And you can hit Tesla and it'll give you information about the car, and you can actually see, you know, all the Easter eggs there. All right, so that's just been an overview of all the different features on a Tesla P90DL. I hope you enjoyed it, and I guess if the car's new to you and you're just trying to figure everything out, or if you're looking to buy one, it's just a little video that'll kind of just let you know. Just give you an overview of all the different features on the car. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. We'll have a couple more videos coming up soon. I just want to thank everybody, and I appreciate you all. Take care.